Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We'll talk Browns and NFL football, and we'll talk Cavs and NBA basketball, and we'll talk traveling Major League Baseball. We'll have a great moment in sports history today. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. What NFL player debuted as a professional wrestler in 2004? I'll have the answer later in the broadcast. The Browns announced their preseason schedule for the 2019 on Tuesday. Week 1, August 8th through the 12th, which will be probably in a weekend. They will be versus the Washington Redskins, and that will be in Cleveland. And Week 2, August 15th through the 19th, will be against the Indianapolis Colts at Indianapolis. Week 3, August 22nd through the 26th, will be against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Tampa Bay. And Week 4, August 29th through August 31st, that'll probably be on a Saturday, would be here against the Detroit Lions. The exact days and times for those preseason contests should be announced in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. And the regular season schedule is also expected to be announced sometime this month, so I'll keep you posted, so stay tuned for that. The Browns and Colts will have 3 joint practices during the week leading up to the second preseason game between the two teams. Browns GM John Dorsey said that the two teams tried to organize joint practices last year as well, but it did not work out. The executive added that he would like to do the same in Berea the following summer. We'll see what happens. There is a connection between the two teams. Colts general manager Chris Ballard served under Dorsey while with Kansas City Chiefs from 2013 to 2016. His titles were Director of Player Personnel and Director of Football Operations. Ballard took the Indianapolis job in January of 2017. Ballard and Dorsey were two of the more impressive general managers in the NFL this past season. Ballard was named Pro Football Writers Association 2018 Executive of the Year. Indianapolis went from the cellar of the AFC South to a playoff team. The biggest impact was felt at the quarterback position, where Andrew Luck returned from injury. Linebacker Darius Leonard and offensive guard Quentin Nelson were also important additions to the team as well. In the past, Cleveland has held joint practices with the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The practices will be held at Grand Park Sports Complex in Westville in Indiana, which is where the Colts conduct their training camp. Training camp usually begins towards the end of July, and that's when it probably will begin. A year ago, the Browns went 3-1 during the preseason, with wins over the New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Detroit Lions. Their one lone loss came against the Buffalo Bills. And as you know, we started out slow, but we had a 7-8-1 season. And I think the Browns are going to make the playoffs this upcoming season, so we will see. Cleveland made a lot of great moves this offseason, acquiring wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. and defensive and Oliver Vernon in a trade with the Giants, the New York Giants. The Browns also signed defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson during the free agency period, and running back Kareem Hunt and tight end Demetrius Harris. The Browns have $33,627,575 in salary cap space, according to the NFL Players Association Daily Generated Report. The team has 8 selections in the 2019 NFL Draft, including the number 49 overall selection. There are more opportunities to improve this roster during this roster this off season, as the Browns are not done getting it right by any means yet. And that number 49 overall pick, I believe, is in the second round, so we'll keep you posted on that. And with only 2 weeks to go to the NFL Draft, as you know, the Browns have picks in the second, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds, and that will lead up to pick number 255, Mystery Relevant. And I will have a special 2019 NFL Draft edition of Scott Sports 101, beginning with round 1 on Thursday, April 25th. And I will be on location for that broadcast at the Murphy House, home of my friends Matt, Katie, Gavin, and Noah Murphy. And joining me that night, my special guest will be my really good friend, who's one of my best friends, Matt Murphy. And we'll break down round 1 of the NFL Draft, even though the Browns don't have a pick in the first and third rounds. And we'll see who all the teams are going to take in the first round. And we'll preview who we think the Browns are going to take in the second round and the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds as well. And I will break down the second, third, and fourth rounds when on Friday, April 26th, and the fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds on Saturday, April 27th, and on Sunday. Besides, I'll have recaps after all 3 broadcasts, but on Sunday, April 28th, I will have a complete recap of the 2019 NFL Draft. And joining me for that podcast will be that will be my brother-in-law, Eric Hoyle, and his cousin, Aaron Hoyle. And we'll recap all of the NFL Draft. We'll give our thoughts on what we think of the Browns' picks of who they selected, and we'll just give our thoughts of what they're going to do during this upcoming season and in training camp, which will begin in July sometime. So please tune in and stay tuned for that, because I'm looking forward to it. The Cavs are going to have a lot of work to do during this off season. After wrapping up the season, losing to the Charlotte Hornets 124-97 at home at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, which is now the new name of Quicken Loans Arena. You can't say the Q anymore. They felt the name needed to be changed, with the Cavs almost getting to where they need to be, and they're very close to where they want to be. And it was Channing Frye's last game in a Cavaliers uniform last night, because he is retiring from the Cavs and the NBA. And they had a lot of fun with him last night, and he is happy to be retiring, and he thanks the Cavs for making him a part of the team, especially during the 2016 NBA championship run, which the Cavs won the NBA title. And we wish Channing Frye the best. The Cavs are looking to get lottery picks in the NBA draft lottery, which is Tuesday, May 14th, and the NBA draft is Thursday, June 20th. We'll see what the Cavs do. In other NBA news, as you know, Magic Johnson is stepping down as president of basketball operations for the LA Lakers. The reason for this is, Johnson said, he has done all that he has done for the Lakers franchise as a player and ambassador and as an executive. He also feels the team is moving in the right direction, and he drafted free agent LeBron James from the Cavs in free agency in 2017. And he thanks the Lakers for all of their efforts and everything that they did for him, and the Lakers thank him for what they did the past 2 years for the franchise. So we wish Magic the best, and before we're going to move on now to today's great moment in sports history here on Scott Sports 101. And it all dates back to February 9th, 1992. And the location was Orlando Arena in Orlando, Florida. And here is the moment, just months after announcing that he was HIV positive and retiring from professional basketball, Magic Johnson returned to the hardwood to play in the 1992 NBA All-Star Game, voted in by the fans. Magic was named the game's MVP. Now, here's the impact of all this. Magic's announcement brought HIV and AIDS into the national conversation, with many players expressing concern that he could spread the disease on the court. Magic would go on to play in the 1992 Olympics basketball team, but fear about his disease curtailed a comeback plan for the 92-93 NBA season. Excuse me. And I have another great moment on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. We'll get to the Tribe and Major League Baseball in just a moment, but right now it is time now for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. What NFL player debuted as a professional wrestler in 2004? If you said Brian Urlacher, you are correct. 8-time Pro Bowl linebacker Brian Urlacher made a pro wrestling appearance in 2004, press slamming former Survivor contestant Johnny Fairplay out of the ring in the process. When the Chicago Bears discovered his extracurricular activities, they forced him to quit. And I will have another trivia question on my next broadcast, so stay tuned for that. The Tribe's 5-game win streak got snapped today as the Tribe lost to the Detroit Tigers 4-1 at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. Trevor Bauer was on the hill for the Tribe today. Bauer went 5 in 2 innings, giving up 10 hits, 4 earned runs, and striking out 7 batters. Then the bullpen was called to take over, and they did not do any better. The Tribe's only run came in the top half of inning number 6. And it stayed 4-1 until the 9th, and Shane Green came on and got his 8th save for the Tigers. And Bauer goes to 1-1, and Boyd goes to 2-1, or 1-1. And the Tigers now have the top spot in the American League Central Division. They're now 8-4. The Tribe is now in second place in the American League Central Division. Central Division at 7-4. But with a win tomorrow, if they can take 2 out of 3, they can be have the top spot again. So we'll see. And the Tribe will try to get back on the winning track and take 2 out of 3. And take 2 out of 3 as they will wrap up this 3-game set with the Detroit Tigers tomorrow afternoon at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. Shane Bieber on the hill for the Tribe. And Bieber will try to get his first win of the season. And Spencer Turnbull on the hill for the Tigers with a record of 0-1. Turnbull will try to get his first win of the season as well. First pitch, 1:10 p.m. on Sports Time, Ohio. Now, here are my final thoughts very quickly. I feel that the Warriors, I know, are favored to win the NBA Finals this year, but and they just might do just that. But I don't think they're going to be the team that they are this year and next year. So I think a lot of those players are not going to want to be with Stephen Curry next year. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll have another podcast on Friday or Sunday. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day, in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.